identity. She will help me know who I am. She will help me start moving in boldness. She will help me understand why I chose the life of faith in the first place. And every time that I unbury her, every time that I have a conversation with that Jane, she reminds me the boldness that I carry. She reminds me who I am in Christ. She reminds me that all I need is what God says about me. She reminds me that I'm not defined by my failures. She reminds me that I am not defined by what is not working out. I am not defined by how I look. I am not defined by what I wear. I'm not defined by these things, which are important, because of branding, really. But deep inside me was a girl longing to live, a girl longing to be bold, a girl who understood that her mark was in Christ. And that is the girl that I work on reviving every day, because she will help me move in bold action. So I want to speak to the girl who you buried, the girl who you chose to give a backseat, the girl who you put behind all your negative experiences, and then you allowed those experiences to define who you are. I want you to go back to the space to welcome that girl back, to speak to that girl, speak life into that girl, because you need her. You need her to remind you who you are in Christ. You need her to remind you your identity. You need her to remind you that you are strong, that you're not identified by the things that have happened to you, that you're not identified by the current circumstances in your life, but God already identifies you as his child. God already tells you that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. God already tells you that you are strong. God already tells you that you're beautiful. And as long as you have this as your guiding, those being the guiding parts of your life, what happens is you start building an identity that is not attached to things, that is not attached to successes, that is not attached to who people think you are, but is attached to who God says you are. And the minute you get there, I promise you, you will start moving in bold action, because faith will be they will be the driver on your seat, driving you. And I can tell you, you will start speaking, walking, talking, doing all these things differently, because you're no longer defined by your circumstances, but you're defined by who God says you are.